Dr. Anders Øland, you have been building and building and building. We are now launching a new platform. Can you try to tell me a little bit about the thoughts behind that platform? Why was it important? You said something to the group a long time ago. We need to go this way. We need to guarantee our clients that when our bots or agents go live with conversation, it stick to what it needs to do. It never go out of scope. It always are compliant. Some of the elements, and we said, you turned and flipped everything a little bit around. Can you try to give us, the audience, a little bit about background about that journey and why, and then maybe show us a little bit what you have been building?
Of course, my pleasure. And so obviously, as if you said already, it's a highly regulated space, so you need to be careful what you do. And that's a problem with AI. With these large language models, if you don't need to spend a lot of time following this whole area to realize that there's something called hallucinations or confabulation, right? That's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
And they might behave well 99% of the time or 99.9, but if you make 10 million calls, how many calls can you afford to make as a business where it says something racist or talks about weapons or something political or whatnot, right? I mean, I'm guessing not that many, right? So what I've seen in observed with our competitors that they like, oh, we have test suites now because hallucinations, so you can test it. And so what I decided to do with our AI agent is just, let's just eliminate that. Let's just make it impossible for the agent to hallucinate, and that's what we did. And that's a guarantee. And you can, any customer who wants to check this for themselves, they can send someone to audit our code and our system, and it will be very easy to show that this is in fact the case. And also I want to add that we have eliminated all kinds of sources of bias in decisions that an agent might make. So every decision is completely compartmentalized. So for example, if it wants to make a decision about offering installments to a client, it doesn't know the customers or the debtor's name or ethnicity or actually even how much that person owes. It doesn't know anything about it. It's just based on whatever the user responded in the conversation. Our system is hyper specialized and hyper optimized for debt collection, right? And that means that we can simulate what you actually do in call centers is that you have a script, right? So and we can guarantee that it will follow that script. Worst case scenarios in our world is not that it starts talking about politics or whatever. Worst case is that people sometimes say sentences that are not clearly a yes or a no, right?
Yeah.
So that happens. Language is complicated, right? So if you ask, hey, can you pay this amount that you owe now, and someone says, it talks about, I don't know, the weather or something like that for 30 minutes, no one knows what it's going to, decide, right? What it should decide and what it's sort of trained to decide is that to respond, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Can you pay this amount that you owe now?
Yeah.
Right. So
it does what it's supposed to do.
yeah,
And
exactly.
some of the really important thing for all our clients, and something that you have been working in again, is important in our space. Not necessarily if you do
No,
sales calls or customer
exactly.
service calls, but
Exactly.
in our space, IDV, identification of the person you are calling to.
Hmm.
If I call you, Anders, I need to be sure that you are you and not your
Hmm.
brother that is picking up the phone. I am not allowed to state that you owe any money
Nope.
if it's not you. If I'm not certain that it's you,
Yeah.
how have you fixed that?
Well, so again, it goes back to the system being very controllable and sandboxed, um, and scripted, right? So you can give us a script and we will implement that script and it will follow it completely. Whereas what our competitors are doing, which is a very sane thing to do, if you want to create AI voice agents for general purpose stuff,
Yeah.
right? That's not the business that we're in. But then what they do is basically you write a prompt and then you plug in someone talking on the phone, and you transcribe it, and that's what's go. It's kind of like just chatting with ChatGPT, which most people have tried these days, right? And then whatever ChatGPT or the LLM spits out gets turned into speech audio sent back, and that's how it works, right? Great,
Yeah.
but everyone knows that this is extremely risky, and making that robust with that approach is impossible. And this is here we have a very tight process for taking people through the ID and V, I should say, process, um, where we use all sorts of machine learning techniques and of course LLMs, and also looking at phonemes and stuff like that, because um, and we were able to realize, oh, actually you have a middle name, you didn't say it, so can you please repeat your middle name, and same with street names and stuff like that, so to sort of give people, again, in this noisy space that we're in with respect to audio signals and transcriptions, we want to give the user some, a few tries to actually deliver the correct information.
Yeah.
So that is completely scripted. It will never wear off and do something else and allow the conversation to continue if you're not verified. Um, so
And that is
and
important.
yeah.
That is some of the most important things, and
Mhm.
let's hear it in a second in action. But that is one of the most important thing, of course, because it just to give an example. If that is not like 90%, we can maybe how many people can we get through that process? If that's 80 or 90%, and always 100% that when we transfer and saying yes, it is the right person, that's a big difference from if you say 40 to 50%, because you could not hear the names properly, the accents properly, etc., etc. And then you need to have to transfer that call to a human, because you are not able as an AI agent to identify
Mhm.
who you talk to.
Mhm.
So that's a huge difference when we are talking about the purpose why we are here, to actually take a lot of that traffic away from the humans. So with
Mhm.
that said, Anders, let's try to give it a call here in the
Right.
and hear a little bit how is it working. After that, Nils, I have a few questions for you about how do we actually succeed afterwards with a client when we have onboarded them, and uh, with my word in mind, we are not a vendor, we are a partner. We come back to that. Anders, we're looking forward to hear what you have been doing with a live call now.
All right. Hello.
Hello, is this John?
Yeah.
I am Lisa from the Friendly Collection. Great. I'm Lisa from the Friendly Collection Agency calling on behalf of Acme Inc. This call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. Do you agree?
Why do you need to record it?
We record the call for quality and training purposes. Do you agree to recording this call?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for agreeing. First, we need to verify your identity.
Excuse me.
Please tell me your full name. Yes?
Who are you calling from?
I am Lisa from the Friendly Collection Agency calling on behalf of Acme Inc. To proceed, we need to verify your identity. Please state your full name.
Okay, my full name is John Smith.
Sorry, but I need your full name, please.
Sorry, it's John Paul Smith.
Thank you for confirming your name. Please tell me your house number and street name.
Okay, I live on 5 Penn Avenue.
And what is your postcode?
That's 15206.
Thank you for confirming your address. Your outstanding balance with Acme Inc. is £245.50. Are you able to settle this amount today?
Excuse me, how much?
I'm sorry, £245.50. you able to settle this today?
I'm sorry, I can't. I just lost my job.
I completely understand. Another option is to split the payment into 4 monthly installments of £61.39, starting from next month. Would that work for you?
Could I get 10 installments?
I am only allowed to offer you 4 installments. Would you like to talk to a human representative about a different installment plan?
No.
Okay. Would you like to pay in full then?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for agreeing to the installment plan. I will send you a text with a payment link shortly.
Okay.
Thank you so much and have a good rest of the day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Anders, wow. Yeah, you must give applause.
Very
Some of the
impressive,
things
yeah.
I just want to highlight here before we are moving over to unveils is ultra low latency is not existing anymore. That has something to do with connection rate, conversation rates, how you convert a client. What is the experience that you are putting the clients in when you are calling them? Super fast, empathy, want to create solutions, transfer to a human when that is needed.
Yeah.
All of these elements are there, and nice to see the ID and VCheck how that work in real life, and why you need to go through a full process, and if not, the bot will bring you back and ask you, and if not, and if you cannot come with that answer, it will transfer you to a human with what we are calling a hot transfer. Here at the end, thank you so much, Anders. Very, very inspiring to hear. We're looking forward to showing you
Thanks.
a lot more of that over the next coming months.